Hello everyone, my name is Nikolaus and I'm a medical student at the University of Split, School of Medicine. And this video will be about students that want to study outside of their home country. Let's say you didn't get into your home medical school, or let's say you want to study in English, something like that. And I will give you my honest opinion about what is the best place to study and how to find the best place for you. And also I will give you one trick I'm sure you never heard about. And at the end of the video, I will give you also two advice that I wish I had when I was 18 years old and I decided for my medical university. So to start off this video, I want to show you a really good chart that I found about some really nice medical universities. Most of them you can study in English, but sometimes also in German. Sometimes it's mixed, sometimes it's only German. What you can see here is that mostly the Eastern European part will give you a lot of options. You can see that Czech Republic, also in Croatia, Bulgaria, then also in Latvia, Estland, countries like this, Poland, you can study medicine, but of course you will have to pay for it. Here I found some of the websites, and the first thing that you can see is that all of these universities, of course, they want a lot of money. So one of the priciest universities I found so far was the Semmelweis in Hungary. They charge 8,300 per semester. That means 16,600 if I don't calculate wrong here. And also I looked out for other medical schools, and there's one I found in Germany. It's called Medical School Hamburg, and they also want a lot of money. You can see right here they make it in a really tricky way. They tell you 1,500 but per month, and then at some later point they will only charge 300 per month, but still roundabout you will have to pay 90,000 to 100,000 euros. I think here you will also have to pay a lot of money. If you want to be a little bit cheaper, you can always go to this is, I think, Cluj. So this is Romania right now. So I hope I pronounce it correctly. So especially in these Romanian medical schools, you only have to pay 7,500 euros, which is, I mean, it's still a lot of money, but compared to the other universities, that's way less. And also I found this Varna medical school, and they only charge 8,000 euros. I would say that's still pretty good. I know that from all the students at my university, they had to pay 7,000. So I had one friend, he's already a doctor, but he had to pay 7,000. I have to pay 9,000 per year. But the students that are below me, they have to pay now 12,000 per year. So you can you can see that the tuition fees go up by time, and that's pretty normal. And what I also found is that this is in Warsaw in Poland right now. I hope I interpret everything correctly. I just did my quick Google search here, but they make it in a really smart way, because they tell you that the first year will only be 5,700 euros. But this first year means that, of course, you will have to pay this in the first year, but then in the second year they will charge you 8,200, which is a lot more. And then you will have to pay 10,500. And this is the first tip I want to give you, is always consider the complete package, because the probability of you staying at this university and finishing your degree there is really high. So don't come to the conclusion that you will only study 1 or 2 years there. The probability of you staying there is really high. So like they say here, always consider that you have to pay in the end this entire 46,000 euros. This is the next university I found. This one is in Prague. So they charge, also a lot of money. I think that's around 12,000 euros. That's at least what I calculated beforehand. And you can see that in almost every university you have to pay around 10,000 euros right now per year. always consider the entire amount, but then also consider that you have to have your living expenses there. For example, if I want to study in Germany, my living expenses will be quite high, or let's say you study in Great Britain, or in America, it might be way higher than, let's say, in Romania. I heard from a friend that he wanted to start in Romania, and he checked out the gym fee and also what a personal trainer would cost and what a restaurant would cost there, and it was almost nothing. And then also your living expenses. Let's say you want to study in Germany and you pay 500 per month for some really small flat. And then you go to another country in Eastern Europe and you only have to pay 100 euros, or let's say 200 euros. And that's sometimes pretty reasonable if you find a good contract for you. So the next point is that you also have to consider the price doesn't mean that you have a better quality. So what do I mean? It means that just because the Semmelweis University expects double the money of the Romanian university, I think it was here, it doesn't mean that the Semmelweis University is any better. It might be. Of course, the logical conclusion is they have more money, they will also spend more for the lectures, for the seminars, for the practicals. But to be honest, maybe all the money that is extra here goes into some professor's pocket, who knows? So don't confuse those numbers with the actual learning degree that you will get at this university. Of course, it can give you a direction, but I wouldn't take this too far, because, for example, at my university, I had to pay, I already told you, I study in Split, and I had to pay 9,000 and they have to pay 12,000 now. And actually they didn't change too much in their approach of teaching people. So I can tell you by personal experience that probably the price is not exactly the same as the quality of the lectures, although I'm very satisfied right now with the qualities of lectures at my university, of course, but just don't confuse those two things. The next thing I would advise you is don't go to all these ranking portals that I'm looking at right now. I checked some of the universities and I saw some had like a way better rating than the other ones, and it just didn't make any sense to me. I just would not consider them too much or at all. I don't think that they give you a good clue of what's going on at the university. So if you want to decide for university, don't do it like I did, or at least back in the day, that was 3 years ago, I tried to look for rankings and everything. But honestly, it didn't give me much out of it. And also sometimes it turned out to be totally wrong. And I can tell you why. Because, for example, I have friends and they used to study at other universities, and right now they're all in Split. And here I have to say, of course, all of us are very biased. And this is a very subjective opinion. So I can tell you that, of course, there are people who completely disagree with what I'm saying right now. But at least I heard from friends that, for example, they went to Zagreb, or also other friends, they went to Riga. And they didn't have a very nice experience there, so I would not recommend to go there, also not to Zagreb. But I would recommend to go to another university more. It of course also depends on you. Do you like it more cold? Do you like it more warm? I preferred a little bit warmer, so I decided for the south. Also consider that a lot of these websites are very outdated, so I checked up this website that I used 3 years ago and it didn't change too much. So I'm not sure if they updated even. At least some of the numbers here are completely wrong right now. And also I used to have these smart books to help me. That was 2018. But as you can see here, they never updated these books. This is still the same book as I have, or I had. So would I recommend them? Back in the day, yes, but right now they're just 5 years old, so you will not get too much out of them, let's say it like this. The next thing is also that it depends on your personal preference. For example, if you're from Germany and you know that you also only want to stay for 3 years, let's say in Croatia or at another place, you can check out this website. It's from Regiomed. And what they do is they give you the first 3 years you will be in Split at the School of Medicine of the University of Split. But then after 3 years you will be in a German hospital in Coburg. That's, from what I heard, also really nice there. So I can definitely recommend that. So just because you study in Split doesn't mean that you have to be there for 6 years. You can also be 3 years in Split and then go to Coburg via this new program. But also you have to apply first in this program. So don't make the mistake and apply at this program, because that would mean that you would stay for 6 years. But then, of course, also some people like it more in Split, so they rather stay there. So what was the special trick I was talking about? So what I came to know is that, of course, you can study inside the European Union, but you can also study outside. And for example, in Mostar, which is in Herzegovina, in Bosnia and Herzegovina, you can also study medicine. And I know for a fact that some of the students that start to study here, they also have an English program, which is also a little bit cheaper than the other universities. So I think it's only 9,000 euros. And they start in Mostar, which is also a very beautiful, very small town, also in English. And then they switch to the Croatian university, so to my university of Split. And if they do this, of course, all of a sudden they are in the European Union. So they start outside of the European Union, do this for, let's say, 1 to 3 years, and then they switch into the Split School of Medicine. And then they also are part of the European medical school students, and they have a way better time of getting accepted in the European Union. And also I can see here that also one of the professors that I had, she also teaches at this university, and I think also maybe some other professors. I'm not sure about exactly which one, but definitely there is an overlap between these universities, and I think this is a really good way of starting outside the European Union and then still being able to switch into the European Union. And of course, I promised you to give you 2 advice about what to do next. So let's see. The first thing I would do is step number 1. Try to get in contact with as many people as possible from this particular university. Let's say after your research you decided, okay, this, let's say, Semmelweis University in Budapest is the best place for you. The first thing you have to do is get in contact with the students, because all these rankings, all these websites, they're not saying too much. But the people that actually live there and experience this and study there, they're the people who can give you the best and honest opinion about this place. And I would try to get in contact with at least 3 different people via Facebook, via WhatsApp, via Instagram, via email, it doesn't matter. And also try to call them and then try to ask them things like, do you regret your decision? Would you go to another medical school? Like, do you like it there? What do you think about the way of teaching? Is it sufficient? Is it good? Is it excellent? And they will just tell you. They will not give you the answer that the university wants them to answer, of course. They will just give them their honest opinion. So that's the first thing I would do. Get in contact with students from this university. Step number 2. Step number 2 is to look at every university individually and actually drive there. So I typed in every single university here that I mentioned before, and of course there are way more universities. I'm not able to show you everything, but I already told you that I would make a big cross here. I didn't hear so much good stuff about this place. So also about Zagreb, I didn't hear so much good stuff. But of course, I'm biased. People probably disagree with me. Maybe some people just love it there. I don't know. But let's say you want to check out all these places. Give it a chance. Take 2-3 weeks. It's worth every penny. It's worth your time. And go to every single university. Just see if it's right for you. Because some people like me, they love Split. They love the ocean. They love also the temperature for the most part, at least. And for me, I mean, I'm very satisfied with this decision. But let's say you like cold weather. So maybe some place like Warsaw is a way better choice for you. Maybe you have family already in Prague. Maybe then Prague is the best option for you. And the best way to actually find out all of that is to just go there by car. So step number 1, get in contact with people. Step number 2, please visit every single university. This is probably the smartest thing to do. This is what I would do 3 years ago, or let's say I just finished my A-levels, or I'm looking for a medical university. To those 2 things, and I'm sure you will get excellent results. Of course, if you want to know about how I like it in Split, you can always contact me. I can also tell you a little bit about other universities because I have some friends that used to be at other places. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please drop a like and a comment in the algorithm. If you have any other university that you might think is really good, you can also drop it there. Maybe I'm wrong, I have a wrong opinion, let's see, maybe you can correct me. Just let me know, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Ciao!